Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? Thought I'd do a food review and also, I don't know if it would be called TV show review or sporting events review, if you want to call it that. And also, I thought I'd mention a show I watched called The Comedians, which is right before Louie, which I saw a second episode of. And first of all, let's go to a food review. I got this from CVS Pharmacy when I was there, and this is Gold Emblem Wasabi peas right there. And you see they're coated. Wait, it says you see the peas in there? They're coated with that stuff. I wonder what they use to get that stuff on there that made that the wasabi, the horseradish stick like that, you know. And it says Gold Emblem Wasabi peas are a unique and flavorful snack, crunchy with a spicy kick. And it said distributed by CVS Pharmacy, 1 CVS Drive in Woonsocket, Rhode Island. So, let me try. And also, when I was getting there, they had all these things in there for DirecTV and stuff like that. So they must be affiliated with them. And it said if you can get if you sign up for DirecTV, you'll get a $100 CVS pharmacy gift card. But I don't know if this is expired or not. Yep, and it's expired. So don't pay any attention to this. That's expired. Anyways, this isn't. And this is Gold Emblem Wasabi peas. Let's check them out. Where's the thing in? Let me see. There we go. I got them. You know, I don't get a smell of horseradish, but I'm sure that they're hot. They have the horseradish taste in there. Oh, wow. Look at these things. Wow. It's like looks like a snowball with just a little bit of pea sticking out. Look at that. I'm gonna try this one. Oh wow. Definitely strong at horseradish. With the crunch of pea. Crunch of pea. Crunch of the peas. Sorry. They're dehydrated. Well, let me show you what they are. They're dehydrated peas. Where's the thing at? Wasabi green peas. Well, they're green peas with cornstarch, palm oil, sugar, salt, and wasabi. Oh, okay. Mustard powder. Cool. But they're dehydrated. I have a whole bunch right here. I'm gonna try 4. They're really good. Not as It tastes great. Not as strong as I was expecting. Let me try a whole bunch more. But you know when you get that strong horseradish taste that burns your nose? Let me try this many. Wow. They're really good. Now you do get that burn, but not so overpowering you can't stand it. I mean, like, you really get a big shot. It really burns it inside your nasal cavity and your nose. Because I remember from Dollar Tree, if I can find them again, I think they're wasabi coated cashews. And the Edinboro Dollar Tree closed down. They used to get those. Those were really, really strong. You only have like 2 or 3 at a time, or 1 at a time. If you had like a couple of handfuls, well, if you had a giant handful, you'd be in trouble. But these are not as strong, but they're very tasty. I'll probably give these a 9 out of 10. Pleasant horseradish taste, good crunch. I had some wasabi peas from this one company I didn't care for, but these are actually pretty good. So I really like Gold Emblem wasabi peas, and I thought my one review is on April 16th episode of Smackdown. I haven't mentioned Smackdown in a long time, so I thought I'd do a little review of that to go alongside with my food review, along with the thing about the comedians I'm going to talk about. And it was okay. It started out with John Cena coming out. It was still in London, England. in the same stadium that they were in. The same place they were in for Monday Night Raw. It was weird because the crowd didn't seem as enthusiastic. They seemed kind of off. They were really into it Monday night. And, it started off with John Cena coming out, and then he was talking, and then all of a sudden Tyson Kidd and Cesaro came out, and Natalia came out. And Natalia looks good. And she is very, very hot. For anyone who doesn't, I don't think she gets the notoriety she deserves. She's really nice looking. She looked really good. Well, anyway, they came out and they were saying all this stuff about John Cena. And then all of a sudden, Daniel Bryan came out and he was defending John Cena. And then you knew what was going to happen. At the end of the show, it was going to be a tag team match with John Cena and Daniel Bryan against Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. And after that, they had some other neat stuff on there. I like all the stuff with Miz and Mizdow and stuff. And they had some neat events that happened in there. But basically, it seemed like they were just trying to talk about what happened on Monday Night Raw. Like the Big Show came on and just talked about what he did to Seth Rollins. I mean, not Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns and stuff like that. It seemed like, because I don't know if I'd ever pay to go see a SmackDown, because it seemed like you ripped off, because it seemed like they don't put the emphasis in it that they put in the Raw. And even though I don't know, it seems like WWE's hit a glass ceiling. Like they'll have like little bits of ebbs and flows, but it doesn't seem like they, at least their program, especially SmackDown and Raw too, but it seemed like they hit a glass ceiling. They only make the show so good. I mean, it was very entertaining. I give it a 7 out of 10, but sometimes I wish they'd be better. Just like the Raw after WrestleMania was really good, then the next two after that were okay. You wish they would be better. And it's still very entertaining though, because I remember watching Raw SmackDown when it first came on. It was either on, I can't remember it was either WB or UPN, because back then they were kind of like the same channel, and they had a whole bunch of animated stuff which was really cool. I remember UPN had Dilbert, and then I think they had Gary and Mike, or Warner Brothers had Gary and Mike. I think UPN had Mission Hill, or WB had, I can't remember, but they had SmackDown, and UPN I'm pretty sure had SmackDown. And back then SmackDown was awesome. Sometimes SmackDown was even better than Raw. It was really, really, really good. And I remember, I don't know if anyone remembers this, I think it was when it was on UPN, 11 o'clock Saturday nights, they had another show called Jacked, which I've never heard anyone talk about ever. I mean, in a wrestling magazine I was reading, it was a multiple choice question answer for a question. They mentioned W Jack. That's the only time I ever heard it mentioned anywhere. And that was on for a while. And then they said, well, this is the last episode of Jacked. And what Jacked was an hour-long show hosted by Michael P.S. Hayes. And I can't remember who else hosted it. But, I mean, you don't see Michael P.S. Hayes host anything. And it was like usually 4 or 5 matches. And then, like, they might have a recap. Or occasionally they'd have, like, a special story just for the show. Like, behind the scenes with sound or pyrotechnics and stuff. It was pretty cool. Like I said, it was on late night from 11 to 12, or either 11 to 12 or 12 to 1. I can't remember. This was a long time ago. But, I mean, ever since SmackDown's kind of gone downhill, I mean, it's always like inferior to Raw. Even when my dad was in getting surgery a long time ago, he was watching SmackDown, and the orderly came and said, "You watch SmackDown?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, and the orderly said, "I usually just watch Raw. I think SmackDown's too boring." It seems like SmackDown's always been inferior to Raw. I mean, there hasn't been too many really good SmackDowns in a while. But I mean, they're still entertaining, but I just wish they were better, But I give a 7 out of 10 to it. It was pretty good. But it just seemed like it hit a glass ceiling. And the audience seemed off. Big time. And also, I thought I'd mention a show called The Comedians, which is on before Louie. And Louie is the main show I wanted to see from 10 to 11 o'clock. There's 2 comedy shows on FX. And I didn't see the last week's episode of Comedians. And it's a show with Billy Crystal. Billy Crystal's back doing TV. And he's with this heavy guy that is not really cutting it on the studio for comedy and stuff. it's tries to be like The Office, but the characters aren't really that funny, and it's only okay. I mean, Billy Crystal's really good in it, and there was like a situation when he went over to his house and they were watching basketball. Sugar Ray Leonard and Will Sasso and another guy, and he kind of the heavyset guy kind of ruined it, and he gets kicked out. I mean, it was all right, but I probably wouldn't kill myself to watch it again. I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5. It's only okay. But Louis was great. I really like Louis, and it started out with him having to use the bathroom real bad, which was funny, and it just goes in all these different directions. It's pretty neat. So Louis gets a 10 out of 10 as far as I'm concerned. So that's my review. Basically, it's Wasabi Peas in the April 16th episode of Smackdown, and I mentioned the comedians and Louis. So till next time, bye, please. Take care, my legion. And it's better to have a wasabi pee than wasabi poop. See, that's why when I said pee, I was talking about bathroom humor. Alright, take care, everybody.